Hey, what's up?
What's up, AG?
What's up, AF? That
Does
doesn't,
anyone call you AG? Like the Attorney
uh,
General?
no, doesn't really flow, the initials. Either does AF.
No. I
Maybe AF.
People call me AP because, both of our middle names are Paul. People
Does
call me
anyone call
AP
you
in college.
Andy?
Never.
Right?
Yeah. No,
What do
you
you
know
do when
what?
someone calls you Andy?
You know who called me Andy? Our Westchester Day summer camp counselor.
Westchester Summer Day.
Westchester Summer Day counselor. Westchester Day summer camp. Yeah, whatever. Whatever it was
Called you
called.
Andy? Yeah, I get Andy to get a little bit of a look. My uncle calls me Drew.
Okay.
That's the only one. But yeah, no Andy, no Drew. It's Andrew. It's predominantly Grable, and a
Yeah.
host of other nicknames.
Do you remember going to camp together when we were like 5?
Of course.
No,
Yeah.
you're probably a little older. Remember Ishkabibble?
Socks up to the knees, shorts really short.
Why do I remember the name Ishkabibble?
Evan Ishkabibble.
Yeah, how do I remember that name?
So his father ran the camp. He was the camp director, and I think even to like still very recent, if not even now, maybe. So Evan was in our like not bunk, but like our group,
Yeah.
and
Let
we
me
had
find
like
some.
VIP treatment because we were the son of the camp director was in our group.
Who else was in? We had Michael Baumgarten was in
Yep,
our group, right?
yep.
Who else was in our group?
I don't know.
We can find some pictures. Let's find some
I'm
pictures.
happy. I'm happy that I remembered you were with in the group.
So tonight we have a fantastic guest. Really excited about introducing you to Rob Hayes, owner of
Me?
the Beechmont
Introduce
Tavern.
me?
Just you. Yeah, it's
Okay,
just
okay,
just the three of us.
okay.
I'm excited to introduce you and our viewers to Rob Hayes from the Beachmont. And
Yeah.
I was really excited just because, this is a place that's been in New Rochelle forever.
Almost I think it's like 90 years, creeping up on 100.
Wow, that's a long time. I don't
Yeah.
remember frequenting that bar when we were in high school and college too much.
It was more after college. It was hard to get into.
Yeah.
It felt like it was like a really like an Iona upperclassman bar or and also like New Rochelle folks, like adults at the time, firefighters and just local people were going there. So it wasn't someplace we got into. I would go there for wings on Monday night though, definitely. 10-cent wings.
Tencent Wings.
In high school, yeah, a
What were
lot.
the other places? I remember going to Marty and Lenny's in high school.
Yep.
I didn't really do the Gary's barleycorn. I think that was kind of for older kids also.
We went to Main Street a lot down on Post Road. These clubs I couldn't tell you the names of, but they were like upstairs.
Um,
And
yeah,
that's when we were 21.
sure. I remember, do you remember, was it called Webster Hall? Was Webster Hall a bar?
Sure.
You don't remember
Sounds
that
right.
one? No,
No,
maybe.
yeah, I'm excited for this conversation. Like this is an institution in New Rochelle. And just ready to hear the ins and outs about it with Rob and what he's doing with the place.
Yeah, so we'll talk to him about the history. We'll talk to him about other stuff as well. Maybe we'll hear some funny stories about being a bar owner and what have you. And I don't know. You ready to get started?
Cheers.
Let's do it. Cheers. Cue the theme song. Okay, welcome to another fantastic edition of Neuro Now with Andrew and Andrew. Tonight's guest is Robert Hayes, owner of the Beechmont Tavern in New Rochelle. Welcome to the podcast, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Andrew and Andrew, thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. So we just had on our last episode, we had Barbara Davis on, who was talking about the history of New Rochelle and some of the famous people that grew up here. She talked about Don McLean and a bunch of other people. Could you get us started by just giving us a little history of Beechmont Tavern, going back as far as you know, and then how you got involved with the Beechmont would be a great start.
Yeah, of course. So, actually, to go with Barbara, and I went to the library. We went back. We got Beachmont started in 1928 as a restaurant. In the late 40s and 50s, it became a tavern selling with a bar. And then for a year and a half, it actually became a French restaurant, big white hats and everything. That didn't work out, so I went back to being a tavern. And then Don McLean was a frequent visitor here. I met him a few times. Super nice guy. He gave me some funny stories that I can't tell, but he had a lot of good history here and a lot of good stories. Let's see. The only time Beechmont has changed names was in 1980 to 1984. It was called Tin Lizzie's, and then went back to Beechmont Tavern. And from there, we've been rocking and rolling.
So it's never been called the Levee. Is that a myth?
No, well, the levee was a nickname, like a watering hole, so it was never called the levee.
Okay. But is that what Don is
That,
referring
that
to?
is, yeah, exactly. So when he's talking about drove my Chevy to the levee, he's referring to Beechmont Tavern.
Got it. Very
Nice.
cool.
So you're a New Rochelle guy. Isaac Young and New Rochelle High School and Iona College at the time, now university.
Right.
Tell us like your how you got involved with Beechmont Tavern and like your history with it from the first time you stepped into the doors to today.
Yeah, so when I was younger, my mother used to bring me here for 25-cent wings on Monday nights way back when I was a kid. And then in high school, I needed some extra cash, and I started off at babysitting, but the babysitters were friends of the owners of Beachmont. So they said, "Hey, listen, we know you're always looking for work. I can put out a word for you." To the, I believe the stewards were the owner at the time. I said, "Yeah, please, that'd be great." I was it was '06, '07. So he asked, and the guy gave me a ring. He said I can use a bar back and a busboy, and that's that. It started there in high school.
And then how did you morph from working at the Beachmont? I feel like when you and I met through the Chamber of Commerce like 11 years ago, you were managing, but it was the father and son guys who owned
Correct.
it.
Yeah, I've been there for several owners, and so in high school, it was the best job ever. I mean, you got a free meal, you're making cash. It was fantastic. And then I went to Iona, which is even another golden pass to work at Beachmont. You were the man. Everybody knew who you were. Like I said, and everyone claims to be a broke college kid, but when you have a great job, especially in the restaurant and bar business, you're never the broke college kid. So among my peers, I was the guy to befriend and have a good time with.
You weren't
And
drinking
then
when you were in high school there though, right? That never happened, right?
water.
Definitely not.
And then when I graduated Iona, uh, I actually had a degree in criminal justice. I was trying to pursue that, but my passion was really in the hospitality and the restaurant bar business. I knew that right away too from the first few months of working there. I had no idea that one day I would own the Beachmont, but I knew that I had a real passion for it. And I don't know why I didn't pursue a career in hospitality in college, but whatever road led me down the road and ended up right back where I should be. And after college, I decided, you know what? I told my mother, sorry, I'm not going to pursue this. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to continue working in the bar scene. So I stayed with Beachmont. I got a few jobs in White Plains too in that bar circuit. I bounced around. Uh, but from day one at Beachmont till now, I held every position. I started off as a busboy, barback, server, worked dishwasher, prep cook, security, floor manager, general manager, partner, and owner.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That doesn't normally happen.
And I bought the,
Say again?
and I ended up buying the bar in 2018.
2018.
So in New York State, you can't transfer a license. You have to apply for your own, and that takes between 3 to 6 months. Um, and of course, with my luck, it took 6 months. So at the time, it was extremely stressful because just because you're waiting for your license, your bills don't stop. So you still have the insurance, you still have the rent. So at that point, I was like, well, I can't sell alcohol. What can I do? So I said, you know what? My plan was to turn this more into a tavern. Back when I bought the bar, even though I'd been part of it for so long, I didn't have say in many parts of the prior ownership. It was, sometimes it didn't have the best reputation depending on which era of ownership it was in. So my goal was to turn it back into a family style tavern where anyone getting off work can come and enjoy a cold beer during happy hour and or take the kids out for a good burger and fries. So looking back during that time, those 6 months really forced me to focus on food quality and making sure that I not just made the best product, but it was profitable. So I had to learn everything. I had to teach everything myself. I can't tell you how many books, YouTube videos I read at the time, um, and audiobooks I listened to, and just friends in the business that I asked questions to. I was like a sponge. I was trying to take in everything I could. I had to learn about portioning, food cost, late versus your labor cost. It was a lot, but it was that 6 months really forced me to do that. And who knows? I don't think I would have done that as fast and as efficiently as I could have if I
So
got this right away.
I'm hearing today that people are drinking less,
So that's
right?
very true.
So your margins have to be really thin, and you want, the bulk of it to come from your liquor sales, and then keep your food pricing moderately, right, so people come to eat.
That's
How are you dealing with that today, where people aren't coming out and drinking as much or spending as much at the bar, but yes, they're still coming to eat? Like, how are you managing that?
so this business is notorious for being difficult because there's so many moving pieces. It's not like I own a clothing store and I buy a piece of merchandise, add 50% and sell it. I have to make sure between inventory cost, pieces, the food coming in, coming out, right temperature, no product damage, cleanliness in terms of cleaning out your beer lines, maintaining the compressors, maintaining everyone shows up on time, make sure everyone's following the health codes and regulations. Uh, so, in addition to learning everything when I first bought the bar in terms of food quality and keeping up with the high standards that I set for myself and the Beechmont, after we got the license, straying just a little bit off your question, but it kind of leads into it. So after 6 months, the state liquor authority tells me, okay, because you're so close to a high school and a college, we're going to give you your liquor license, but we're going to cap it at midnight for a year to see if you can follow rules and be a good citizen to the community. I was like, oh my God, midnight? Are you kidding me? So that was 2018. And so we get that. I'm just thinking back now, all the funny stories of my staff and I. So now we're, right now we can start building a happy hour. We can start building some catering. We can start building here and there, start building it up into what it eventually becomes. Then, of course, uh, late February, March of 2020, I get the phone call. Hey, you can stay open until 4 a.m. now. I'm like, oh, wonderful. 1 week later, big COVID crisis starts. I
Yeah.
start seeing all the news. What the hell is this? And then 2 weeks later, we're closed. I was like, oh my God. But all that prep work, building your food quality and building your clientele really provided a good base and a good frame for what happened during COVID. I was able to, by that point, a year and a half into my business, I started building a really good reputation of high food quality and great service. So people were coming out. I was packing out the dining rooms, packing out for lunch. Everyone really enjoying their food and everything that I'm building up. And everyone like, wow, this is a great local neighborhood spot now. This is not what it was. This is great that what has become. And so when COVID hit, I people came out knowing that all right, we're going to support the Beachmont. They support us at our little league, our softball tournaments, etc. So when I bought the place over, it was mostly a bar. And as I explained, now I want to turn to more in a restaurant, which those more are more difficult because now you're food heavy. It's 70-30 opposed to food opposed to 70-30 alcohol. But that ended up saving me because of COVID. Now you can't sell alcohol, you can't have people dine in, but that developed my takeout business. And at the time, I just started learning about takeout. And just like I did when I bought the business and I had no license, all right, what are we going to do? We can't stress, we can't freak out. these are the current circumstances. Now I got to buckle down. And how do I get the food from point A, which is Beechmont, to point B now, which is the customer who are at their houses? We didn't have delivery drivers. Uber and all that stuff was still relatively new, all third-party takeout systems. So I sat down once again, went to my religious Bible YouTube, and watched every video I had to about take delivery, uh, and how to build that marketing campaign through social media. And social media at the time too, the marketing was still relatively new, at least to me, in terms of Instagram and Facebook and email blast. So I really just learned all that and built that takeout business from that circumstance. That then, once COVID ended and we got back to normal, that just shot me into the atmosphere of, in terms of New Rochelle, everyone knowing Beechmont is the place to be for happy hour. Bring your family, bring your friends. Beechmont took care of it in COVID. I was doing a lot of free meals for nurses. I was helping out everybody I could. Um, I also pulled every string I had and every friend I had and every type of corporate structure, at home business to keep the Beechmont afloat. But at the end of the day, the constant push to move forward and provide good quality food, friendly service, building a great takeout business to make sure the food arrives on time. Let me tell you how serious I was about the food quality. When COVID first happened, within the first, after about 2 months in, I met with a French fry specialist. We sat through and must have sampled 13 or 14 different potatoes. I can't tell you how many different types of French fries to figure out the best type of thickness that would last for about an hour worth of delivery. And that's why even our takeout business, I think it's one of the best in the areas in terms of food quality and also menu engineering, which was a big key to that. We're able to pump out orders in less than 15 minutes. Everything in the menu is engineered for speed and efficiency. Everything feeds into each other and complements each other, and it's based for speed in that little tiny kitchen I have, because my kitchen is extremely small. It's a little bit bigger than my office.
Huh.
Tell us how AI has helped your business versus hurting it. You know, for some other business owners, AI is really hurting their business, but I feel like you've used it to your advantage. Walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I love AI. It's amazing. I'm excited to see where it's going to be in a few years. If I use it now, I use it for my phone answering system. That frees up my staff in-house now to give better service to the customers. And I had to really use AI to help cut back my labor costs, because labor in Westchester is extremely high, especially for the restaurant business, because our margins are so small. So it's been a real help with answering phones. It's been a real help with email campaigns, helped me write on my email campaigns, my Instagram captions. It even helps me create now flyers. This new piece of technology I found with AI helps me do flyers, advertisements. Who should I reach out to? It automatically tags the people for me. Same thing with my email campaigns. It keeps track of which campaigns I've used, success rates, gets rid of the ones that aren't, and helps build on the ones that are really doing well.
So I've noticed you have a really strong social media presence, especially on Instagram, where you could be doing 2 or 3 posts a day, it seems like maybe. Is that
Yeah.
AI based, or do you have a social media
So
manager? Is it you? Who's doing that for
with
you?
with social media, it's all me. Um, I know, and I can tell you, I can't tell you how many of the people I follow and admire, who are gurus that tell you should do 1 to 3 times a week, this and that. But I'd rather just be in your face 24/7. If I'm annoying, unfollow me. But you know what? I keep building my audience, and I figured I could totally see where they're coming from if they're about different type of business. But we're food, so and good times.
Yeah.
So that's what I specialize in. I specialize in feeding you and showing you a good time. So I want to make sure my wings, my burgers, my fries are every third post or so. So just it's getting in your feed.
It's the
And then the
mouth.
other times, yeah. And then the other times, I'm just showing you, hey, listen, this is our bar. Look, we have a packed place out now. Everyone's watching the game. Come be social. Um, come out like we used to, because that is, like you mentioned before, people are drinking less, people are going out less, and we're humans. We're meant to be social. We're meant to go out.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go have a drink. Drinking is, it's not bad for you in moderation.
Yeah.
You're supposed to, just I can't tell you how many people are happy at the Beachmont when they come and have wings and have a cold beer.
Yeah. Are
I
you
want
still
to
able to enjoy that? Like,
Compared to drinking celery shakes and celery sticks at that.
are you still able to enjoy a drink with a friend, or is it all work now?
So it's 90% work. I rarely will have a drink at Beachmont. Um, every now and then I will, if an old bartender of mine comes in, an old colleague, or if there's an event, I'll grab a glass of wine and walk the room and talk to everybody. I don't want to be the snoot of like, oh, I don't drink when I work,
right.
but I won't deny that I don't, but I rarely do. I'd rather it's a business to me, so I'd rather make enough money here so I can eat and drink anywhere I want to.
Which is where? Like, where do you go in New Rochelle or Lower Westchester to have a drink and just chill and not be the boss?
Good question. I go everywhere. I love supporting small business. Um, and you can ask almost any business in New Rochelle that has good food and a good beverage. They have seen me there. I have my handful of places that I rotate through. I love La Rosa, Modern,
Gets mentioned every conversation.
Maria's. Um, there's a new spot I've been going to actually in Hartsdale called Old Mandarin. Fantastic Asian cuisine. Um, I visit my buddies down at Smokehouse, down at Spectators. Those are guys are classic New Rochelle staples. And yeah,
So
that's it. I go all over the place. I'm in the city. I'm in Upper Westchester, Lower Westchester. I'm in Connecticut. Stamford has an amazing restaurant scene. So does New Canaan, Connecticut. I don't live too far from New Canaan. I moved about year and a half ago up the line in Westchester to Pound Ridge. So I've been exploring that area. Like, one of some of my favorite restaurants up in northern Westchester are Purdy's. The Inn in Pound Ridge is fantastic if you're looking for more of a high end restaurant. But I eat anywhere from little dive bars to fine dining. I love it all.
and you mentioned spectators, so I'm gonna go back to the '90s, a little nostalgia trip here of going to Glory Days and characters and bumpers and
Aries.
Gary's. Didn't really go to Beachmont because that was like
Tough to get
college
into.
crowd,
Yeah.
like it was hard to get into. But my question is, and what happened to like the North Avenue Strip and the whole nightlife scene? I know there might have been like some tragic accidents and
So I'm not
crimes.
100% sure with that. I'm told there was definitely some DWIs. I think a student was unfortunately killed.
Yeah.
And I believe the coffin on the head that had everyone cracking down on it, there was some sort of frat incident where someone in the Greek life passed away.
So I mean, some of these bars I mentioned were
Oh,
primarily like college bars and even high school. How did the Beachmont, if you know, like survive
yeah,
that?
no, that's fine. Everyone I've spoken to, the places that survived had kitchens. The ones that were strictly bars got shut
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
might or might not have had my 17th birthday party at Gary's bar. Definitely not 18 or 16, but it might have been 17.
We talked a little bit about the past, for Beachmont. What's your vision for the future for Beachmont? What are some things that you still want to achieve that you haven't done yet?
Um, Good question. I am. I would love, and I'm just throwing this out to the universe, but maybe if I do that, it'll pop open. I'm hoping one day that a space opens up, either next to me or soon, that maybe even close enough that I can have my own, not so much a catering hall, but a place where I can have a private dining space to host parties, and where I can create more of a second bar with an entertainment section with arcades, a couple arcade games, some old school bar stuff you don't see really anymore.
You want Galaga.
Exactly. Maybe you know, um, this goes back to, I guess, another one of your questions. The earlier was saying how people are drinking less, and they certainly are. I go to food shows and bar shows all over America, And years ago, before COVID, they were saying this. Say, listen, the trend is alcohol's trending down, so start preparing yourself. COVID probably sped things up about 5 years in terms of alcohol consumption, I guess non-consumption. So, and that's just a curve you have to deal with. You have to continue focusing on food, think outside the box. Like, and now we do a lot of catering. We do a lot of off-premise catering, not just drop and go. So I'll have bartenders and servers at your events. At your, you'd be amazed how many people have birthday parties, holiday parties where they just want the food dropped off, but they also want some employees there just to clean up, take care of their guests, and that's it. And that's been a growing business of mine.
What's the most memorable night that you've had at the Beechmont under your watch that made you say, this was worth it? Like, I am so glad I did this.
I have a few of those every year, and it's funny. It's obviously homecoming. It's just fun to see so many faces because I've been here for so long now. I've seen kids who I went to college with who now have young kids, and it's just continuing the generation of they're bringing their kids back to Beachmont. And I every week I feel like I hear a story where, oh wow, I proposed to my wife here 50 years ago, or I met my current fiance here back when we were freshmen, and just being just can how should I put this? Being able to keep Beachfront going and going strong so people can still make those memories and then relive those memories when they stop in here. It's pretty cool to me. I really love that. I think that's so cool that Beachfront has so many of those amazing memories and I'm part of a legacy that has been able to do that. So when I bought the place, I'm like, all right, it's a dive bar, it's a college bar. My idea is this. To get into this, I have to kind of be like a roadhouse guy and lay down the law. So when I right away, I had to focus. I had to buy a state of the art ID scanner. I had to let all the underage kids know, hey, listen, you can eat here. There's no drinking here. So we have two forms of ID. We got through our scanner. It's pretty cool. Black light holograms checks everything. All right, stage one completed. Knocked out those underage kids. Now the upperclassmen who I cater to a lot, and I do a lot of special events for them, and they love Beachmont. I love having them here, making those final college memories here, like 100 nights to graduation, senior brunch, etc. But when I first bought the place, it was a little still rough and rowdy. They still thought it was a college bar. They can do what they want. They can fight. They can do whatever. So I said, all right, I laid out a set of rules. You start a fight here. I don't care if you didn't even start it. You're banned. Both parties are banned. And then first couple people got banned. They're like, so what? Screw you. We'll go elsewhere. I'm like, oh yeah? Well, elsewhere is down the street where my friends. So I'm gonna give them a call. Now you're banned from everywhere in New Rochelle.
Oh, no.
So yeah, so if you got on my ban list, that went around the campus real fast. So everyone started really behaving. We had a couple sit downs with a couple teams, this and that, and we agreed to be the best we can be and be friendly. And from that point forward, I started building really good relationships with every team, Greek life, um, and organization on campus. And I'm proud to say we're all friendly. And I have to say, even now, from back then to now, Iona has some of the best students I've ever encountered. They're just great overall around people, good hearts, great heads. And I'm excited that they're part of the Beachmont.
What are people drinking? Your customers, what are they drinking at the bar and outside of the wings? What's like a big
So
food
going
item that you're
to,
moving?
sure. So because people are drinking less now, especially the Gen Z, they focus more on quality as opposed to quantity. So they have no problem coming in out and spending more money on a premium spirit. And of course, it has to look cute for Instagram. So you got to make sure you dial up the drinks. Um, but they'll have two or three premium drinks. That's it. Then they're done for the night. And while when we were in school, we would say, "Do you have 50-cent beers tonight?" Or what can I get? How what can I get for $10 that
Yeah.
I'd be dragged out of here?
So it's less draft and more premium.
Yes.
And what's moving? I know your wings move. So what else is like a big menu hit that you see churning through the
So
kitchen?
in terms of food, that hasn't changed so much in terms of yes, people are healthier, but the college kids still like my food, how it's designed for the freshman 15, as they claim it is. I still have there's really even my salads aren't healthy, and I'm honest to that. Every everything on there is designed for just carbs and for you to enjoy a beverage with.
Good
I have
taste.
my number one seller is called the Levy Wrap, and it's chicken cutlet, bacon, our famous wing sauce, all wrapped together with macaroni and cheese, all wrapped together in a wrap. It's like not even a wrap; it's like a burrito. That's how big this thing is.
With
And
buffalo sauce. It's fantastic. That's my go-to.
it goes crazy for it. I love it. And a lot of my concoctions on the menu are based off just all right. If I was a college kid, you know, drunk or stoned, what would I want to eat? So
Right.
that's how I designed it.
Yeah, the Levy's my go-to. My son's go-to. And there was a time, I probably told you, Rob, like we were bringing stuff. It was probably during COVID, and we were bringing stuff back home, and it didn't taste the same as when you ate it at the restaurant. And I gave you honest feedback, and whatever you did worked because now, once we bring that stuff in, it tastes just as good. So I appreciate whatever changes you're making.
Thank you. Listen, and every piece of feedback I get from then all the way to now, even if I get a new review or somebody, hey Rob, this I really do take that into consideration because if it's happening to one person, it's happening to a few other people. They just don't have enough. I don't want to say courage. They just didn't tell me. Uh, so I really sit there and I try to think, okay, is it just a couple things the guys in the kitchen did that I can fix? Is it temperature wise? Is it food quality wise? So yeah, and every time I get feedback, I really will sit there and try to ponder on how to make that better.
So I know you source some of your meat from Arthur Avenue. Like, where's the bulk of your deliveries coming from?
So I'll do the shopping myself between Arthur Avenue and Restaurant Depot. I like going there. I like seeing the produce in person. I like seeing the meat in person. Um, it's part of my morning routine. I get my cup of coffee. I go down. I take my time, walk the aisles, to see what's on. Oh, maybe this is new in the store. Maybe I can do a special out of this or this and that.
Where's Restaurant Depot?
I go all over. So since COVID, no Restaurant Depot has been fully stocked. There's been some every week. There's a different supply issue. So I usually start in Brewster. I go down to Port Chester, and sometimes I'll end up in either Mount Vernon or Hackensack.
Wow.
Interesting.
You're crossing bridges and tunnels.
Yeah, I usually have to go to at least two. At least on the two during the week and three on the weekend to get my full shopping list.
Yeah, these are things that we never even think about as people who eat the levy and come there for a beer. You don't realize how much goes into running a restaurant and a bar. What do you feel is like the hardest part of owning a neighborhood bar slash restaurant that nobody ever warned you about?
Well, it's definitely in any restaurant. It's definitely the labor, but at the Beechmont, outside of labor, it's definitely I with the supply chains, the consistency. You want to make sure that if you came in and had the levy a week ago, it tastes the same as it did today. So that requires me sourcing all my products. That's why I take the trip every morning. I always schedule at least 3 hours of shopping time in the morning. So I want to make sure because my guys prep everything when I get here fresh. That's fresh chicken cutlet, fresh bacon, all that fresh mac and cheese, all that good stuff. So that requires a lot of ingredients and the road trip to making sure it all gets here. Because, like I said, consistency. Um, if you're not consistent and you come by and have a bad experience because why does it taste like this? Most people are forgiving for one time, but it happens again, they'll go elsewhere.
Right. Are you seeing closing time these days, or are those days past you?
Oh, they're still. I don't think those days will ever be past me. I do it. I get out earlier some nights of the week. I treat myself to a couple of half days. But
Right.
you're married to this business,
Right.
and I luckily I stay here not because I have to, because I want to. I really enjoy closing out and having a good time. Our late nights really aren't as late as they used to be. So that's fun, and that goes back with your question, Andrew, about I guess things you guys running the business in a local neighborhood spot, not just consistency, but being a good neighbor.
Mhm.
So I'm very cautious and aware. I try not to have music loud at night. Um,
There's apartments above you.
on the sides of me,
Yeah.
yes, and then the house is
Right.
across the street.
Right.
So I do care about that. I make sure there's no loud music. At night, I make sure we even close early at most, like on Sunday through Thursday, we'll close usually around midnight.
Hmm.
So, depending on the crowd, if someone's birthday party, this and that, we'll stay open at 1. Friday and Saturday, we do last call around 1:30.
Okay.
That's just being a friendly neighbor. That's just being a business owner. Because at the end of the day, if you, especially that, it's more of a night scene in terms of bar. You're not really pushing too many sales for the last hour. You're only gonna get sloppy. So I'm like, you know
Right.
what? Everyone's still standing. Everyone's still respectable. No one's thrown up. Let's
Yeah.
put.
That's a successful evening. Nobody's thrown up. There hasn't been a fight. Everybody's been happy.
Walking out in their own 2 feet.
I care about the not just my neighbors, but I care about the people coming to the bar. My job is to show them a good time and make sure they're safe. So we're known for cutting people off. You by law you can only have X amount of drinks per hour. If I think you're too drunk, or if you come in here and you had too many to drink from somewhere else, we won't serve you, and that causes some headaches. That causes quite a few headaches, but you'd be surprised how many people come in the next day. Oh, Rob, thanks for cutting, not serving me last night, or send me home in Uber. We're always sending people home in Ubers if you're too drunk. We make sure you don't drive. Your safety is our number one priority.
Right.
I'm a big believer in, like you said, just being a good neighbor, and the more you give out, the more you'll get from the universe. Um, you know what? And at the end of the day, yeah, it's still loss of revenue, but you get that back in just loyalty. For me, it costs me a few bucks, but that makes that person's day because wow, that's something this never happens to me. Wow, Rob dropped this one. Wow, Rob, you know what? I feel good. They're happy, and at the end, I always say it pays you tenfold. I've had loyal customers because of that. I think in NeuroShell I sponsor almost everything. Everyone who comes out to me, I'm like I said, I'm a NeuroShell guy, and I believe it's the job of a successful small business to give back. I do the little leagues, the softball leagues, basketball, football, NeuroShell High School, all these Christmas donations through every group, Kamisha's community, uh, every type of fundraiser for the city. You name it, I'm probably part of it. And if not, that's because nobody asked me.
Yeah, that's great. We, not to mention, you're the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and you're giving and volunteering your time there as well. And, that's how you and I know each other. We've been doing that together for a long time. And I'm sure that's good for business as well, but just makes you feel good to help other business owners in the area.
Yeah, you listen. It's a volunteer position. I'm very proud of what we've done. And when I meet new people, first thing I tell them to listen. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. If I can't help, the executive director Catherine White can help. She's fantastic in her role, and I love her. And I'm always speaking when I go to all these restaurants, especially in Rochelle with my friends and everything. There's in this business, it's always changing. Like you even mentioned before, people are drinking less. Okay, there's that. There's the market supply, the food cost. In New York alone, I mentioned before the labor's going up. So we like to brainstorm. How can we pivot? What can we do? What are you doing that's working for you? What are you doing that's not working for you? So we're always just hanging out, talking, and brainstorming on how the restaurant business can be better.
Is there,
And that's why I think too, a lot of places you'll at least in other places I've been to, and there's some restaurant groups I've spoken to where they look at it as, oh, he also sells food and alcohol. He's my enemy. I don't believe that. I believe the more there is, the more of a buzz in a strip, in a town, in a community that the restaurant scene is awesome, and you treat your neighbors and other competitors with respect, they're going to recommend you. Because I can't tell you how many gigs I pass off to people I know that can handle it, or I'm busy that day. Hey, listen, I'm booked, but why don't you ask my call so and so at this place? He should be able to take care of you. And I've gotten business from other places. You're like, isn't that your competitor? I'm like, yeah, but we're still friends.
I have one more question for you. We can end here, unless Grable has anything else. I know you're a huge music fan, so I'm curious to get the answer to this question because I remember you used to go to a ton of Kiss shows and all these different bands before you owned the Beechmont. I'm curious if you do that still, but this will answer my question. If you could have any three people, living or dead, sit down at the Beechmont bar and hang out with you for a night, who would they be?
Besides the two of us.
I'm gonna answer that besides family.
Fine.
Outside
Yeah.
um well hell man. I love my favorite band, like you mentioned, is Kiss. So there's four members there, but I'll take Paul, Gene, and since he passed, I wouldn't mind sitting with Ace Frehley because I knew he was the crazy one in the band. It would be cool to do some stories. And I knew he used to hang out in New Rochelle on Strip back in the day, and he used to hang out in White Plains. He lived in Westchester, so I have heard a lot of crazy stories about him in Westchester. So I'd love to share some with him.
Have you
Who's
had? Go ahead, Graham.
who's come in recently that celebrity, a name, a face that we would know
Yeah.
or
So the Food
listeners?
God, he goes by the Food God. His name's Jonathan.
Okay.
Friends with Kim Kardashian. He's a really big popular
Never heard of her.
influencer. He's like 3.5 million followers. He's been doing this for a very long time. He's flying all over Dubai, LA, and he popped in here to try our wings. He liked them, and I got to tell you, he's a really cool dude. I got to talking with him. He came by a couple times, and he's just a cool dude. And I was very happy that he liked my spot. And it's so cool when you meet someone like this, like especially a food critic celebrity come by, and you're like, oh my god, how are they going to be this and that? And he was just like, he sat down. We sat down for like 2 hours just shooting the shit. It was really cool to see someone like that. Like they're he's normal. He's a good,
Yeah.
cool dude.
Yeah.
So he was probably my most recent one. He's probably about a year and a half ago. Then I got who was just here too. So I'm pull my phone and see if I can pull him up. The 914 Snack Time guys. They were awesome.
Yeah. Is that similar? So are they doing like what Dave Portnoy does for pizza? Are they coming by and just doing like a wing taste test or anything like that?
They heard we had the best wings. They stopped by, loved them. Then when they wanted to do a wing competition. So last March they did like a March Madness wing bracket with all the popular spots in Westchester. So we won that. That was big. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, another
This
award.
is like
We won the best. Believe it or not, we won the. That was a surprise to get this in the mail. I won the best nightlife in Westchester award. Even though we don't stay open late, we throw a good party. There's a lot of so that goes back to also thinking outside the box. You just can't have a bar anymore and expect people to come out. People want to come out for an event. So that is the only way to really keep a thriving business going. So if you join our email list at beechmonttavern.com, you'll see the amount of events I have. I have karaoke. We did paint and sips. We do
Trivia? I feel like I saw trivia at one point.
Yeah, we did. You name it. I'm always doing something different. We do our annual halfway St. Patrick's Day party, 1 month St. Patrick's Day party. We bring little people to come in to play leprechauns. We have wrestling matches. I'll tell you, we have a lot of fun events here that people come out and have a good time with. So join the email list if you guys haven't yet. You might want to come out to one of our crazy events here. But you can find me at on Instagram, Beechmont Tavern. What else are we on? Facebook, Beechmont Tavern. Everything's Beechmont Tavern. You can find me, Mr. Beechmont on Instagram. LinkedIn, Robert Hayes. I think that's really it.
and on
I really love everybody. If whoever's watching and listening to this, go to beechmonttavern.com. Join our email VIP list. You'll get $10 off your first online order. I do a ton of promos all year round for $15, $20 off, percentages off, freebies here and there, special events at the Beechmont. We have maybe we'll have a fresh beer tasting. Show this email, get free entry, etc.
I like it. And if you mention Neuro Now podcast, you get a free glass of water.
What I will tell you, you mentioned Neuro podcast, I'll give you an order of wings with a purchase of an entree.
Ooh.
I like it. All right, that's going on
soon.
Instagram.
See you really soon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see both Andrews tomorrow.
Yeah.
Rob, thank you so much for being a guest with Neuro Now. Really appreciate everything you do for the community. Love the food, love the drinks, and
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Take care.